Hi guys, I'm Danny, and I started a Sunday gym because I've noticed lately that people tend to go to colleges and universities without actually knowing why they're there. And afterwards, starting jobs that are unfulfilling. So I'm interviewing different professionals to see what they have to say and share their knowledge and experience with you. I hope you enjoy it. Right on,
Okay.
Lula. Welcome to the program, man. How
Okay.
are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm all right. I'm very good. Nice to connect with you on this platform. I'm grateful. Thank you again for the opportunity. Great.
Thank you for joining. I'm really
Yeah.
excited about this. The program is going
Okay.
to be focused on three main things. What do you do for a living? How did you get there? And how did you knew that this was the way to go? So tell us what you do for a
Okay.
living, man.
Okay. Okay. Right now, I'm currently a student in my final year, mechanical engineering, 500 level final year.
Speak a little bit
Also,
louder for
so
me, please.
okay. I say right now, I'm currently a student in my finals, mechanical engineering at
Yep.
Olusegun Agagu University of Science and Technology in Ondo State, Southwest Nigeria. So, and in school, I do some ghostwriting jobs for some clients. So I do technical writing jobs. I do CV revamping. I do personal coaching tutorial for
A,
students that
a
fall into
little
the
bit louder.
category. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but a little bit louder
Okay.
would be, yeah.
Okay. So I do ghostwriting jobs, technical report writing, CV writing, letter writing, application letter, resignation letter. I also do personal tutorial for students that fall into the category of high net worth individuals. So that's what I do in school as well as a student. And whenever I'm on holidays, there's a place I go to do holiday jobs. It is a borrowed change, Unity borrowed change. We buy and sell foreign currency like pounds, dollar, euros. So that's what I do right now currently.
That sounds interesting. So we're gonna
Yeah.
split it a little bit because of your
Okay.
engineering education and the job writing and
Yes.
stuff like that, because I want to cover both of them.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay.
I tend to do some writing of my own site
Yeah.
on a side thing, of course. So I don't know about you, but what I mostly rely on is the things that look like
Okay.
other things. Like
Yeah.
for example, uh, Chuck Norris told a joke about the wife of Will Smith, and Will Smith slapped
Yeah.
himself. So
Yeah.
so that was like uh, uh, basically my humor is based on what I'm seeing in front of me
Yeah.
and working it through the prism of what's happening now. So maybe
Okay.
this can be like a good useful advice for you. And second the second question is, how did you get there? So you're now currently almost at the end of your university degree, and
Yes, I am.
honestly, because engineering and it's one of those professions that you can't just, I mean, you can, but almost nobody does it. You can't just go over there for the diploma because it doesn't work like that. You have to want
Yes.
to be there, and
Yes, of course.
it's
Of
it's
course.
not an easy thing. You not to mention this kind of a profession, it has a lot of risks.
Yeah.
Like for example,
Yes.
I'm an auditor. If I make a mistake, there gotta be a plus minus couple of dollars here or there, but it can be compensated. Now, if you as an engineer make a mistake, things are going to be a little bit different. You gotta agree with me on that front. So definitely you're there
Oh, yeah,
because
of course. Yes.
you wanted
Engineer.
to get there. So were you walking the
Yeah.
street one day and you were like, let me go over there and become an engineer, or what happened? How'd you get there?
Okay. Okay, man. Thank you. Good question. So before I answer that question, I would like to share this philosophy that I came up with. So can you hear me very well?
Louder.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah, I can
So
hear
so
you just a
before
little bit louder.
okay. So before I share on how I started, so I would like to share this philosophy that I got from my engineering internship. It was already from the idea of PPE, personal protective equipment. So for them engineers, when you're an engineer, you are supposed to put on your personal protective equipment when you are working on site or offshore. So what personal equipment does that is your safety gadget. It guarantees your safety while working on site. So the idea is that before you start anything, why do you want to become something? So it is driven by this philosophy of what I believe is known as PPE, people, places, and events.
So you basically
People,
already answered my question before you and I even met.
yes,
That's pretty
yeah,
good. That's pretty cool.
okay, yeah. So you say people, places, and events. So I will try to break that down. So people might be a group of people that inspired you to say, okay, I want to be like this. Or it might be a singular person that inspires you to say, okay, this is what I want to venture into. This is what I want to pursue as a career. This is what I'm passionate about. So for me, it happened to be a late uncle of mine who is it? He was a civil engineer. He was successful relatively because success is relative to individual. So he was successful relatively. So I kind of like love the idea of being an engineer. So he was a civil engineer. So he was the person that inspired me to say, this is what I want to pursue. I remember in high school, when I was in high school, senior high school two, level two, senior high school two. So I had a mathematics test, known as general mathematics. I remember vividly, I wrote on that mathematics textbook, Babala, God has work engineering construction company. So it simply means I've already discovered what I wanted to be as an engineer before going into the university system. So that came from the inspiration that I tapped from my late uncle. That is a person event. And that's the person factor that plays a role in determining how the destiny of people end. Secondly, it will be the events. So the event will be the kind of places the event that you attend, and the kind of inspiration that you can tap from such events. For mine, it happens also in my secondary school, in SS2, senior high school too. So there was this career seminar that was organized then. It was known as Vision 2020 for Nigeria. So it was organized by Subsea 7. I don't know if you know of that company, Subsea 7. They provide engineering service for the energy industry. So I attended that event. So when the speaker was presenting, he showed me this offshore rig. They showed the offshore rig, everything concerning providing engineering service to this energy industry, the oil and gas energy industry. So that eventually inspired me to say, this is what I really want to be. So and in determining the course to study mechanical engineering, so I started out with civil engineering. My uncle was a civil engineer, but later and I changed that. Okay, since we already have a civil engineer in the family, let me divert. So then I was going between mechanical and electrical, but some so we carry out an electrical practical work. So in carrying out that electrical practical work, I experienced electrical shock. I will never forget that day. I will never forget that day. I was still a teenager. I experienced an electrical shock. From there, I said, wow, power is very powerful. Electrical power is very powerful that if you are careless with it, you might lose your life. So from
Yeah,
there,
exactly. That's
so
why
I
I
started,
actually gave the example and the differences between you and me. Because again,
yes,
if I make a mistake, it's not good. Don't
yes,
get
of
me wrong. We
course.
don't run around make
Ye-
mistakes on purpose. We don't do that. But
Yes,
if we
yes.
do it, then it's even the same way. It's not like somebody died. But
Yeah,
if you do it, now somebody might die, and then what are you gonna do?
of course, yes.
So,
So,
and you actually covered the third question, which is how did you knew that this was the way to go? So you obviously knew that
yes,
this was the way to go due to this
yes,
mentorship and advice that you've had. And
yes,
actually, the
yes.
reason I'm asking the third question is I'm sure you've
Okay.
seen this too. I'm sure everybody's seeing it. You know
Yeah,
how people tend to go to colleges and universities
yeah,
without actually knowing why they're there. And after
yeah,
because they have this stigma, right, that you have to go to get a diploma. And I'm not against the
yeah.
universities and the degrees and anything
Yes,
because I
yes,
myself have
yes,
one. So
yes,
I'm not because I was
yes.
a bit crucified on LinkedIn when I started the program, and that's why I started because there are a lot of people who are losing their time in universities, in colleges, stuff like that.
Yes, yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah,
hate to see people losing time. Now, we can lose money,
yes,
friendships, relationships. I'm okay with that.
yeah,
Everybody does. It's all
yeah,
good. It's totally
yes,
fine. But if you
yeah.
lose time, now that's a problem.
Time, yes, yeah, yeah.
And I
It is
that's
not,
why I
it is
actually
not
started the whole
recoverable.
program and why I'm doing those interviews because a lot of people don't know
Yeah,
how
mm,
what is for them. And
yes,
I
yes,
often I've received a few reviews here and there about people contacting me say I watched that episode and I saw myself over there. So that's the point, and that's
Yeah.
how you kind of covered it. How you
Yes.
knew that this was the way to go, but
Yeah.
my I guess additional side question is, can you give a little bit of advice for people who don't know that yet?
Okay, my advice would be, okay, before that, we say there's a difference between academics and education. You must
Yeah,
understand that there's a difference between academics and education. And there's another level to it that is known as revelation. So I will not spend too much time on that. So let me talk about academic. Academic is actually what you are taught. Your education is what you take, what you teach yourself, what you put yourself through, to go the extra mile, to better yourself of the knowledge you gain from academics. So before venturing into academics, into the school system, the idea of the school is to help you refine your talent, what you've already discovered that you're really passionate about. So you go to school in that line to refine the gift that is resident within you, to nurture it, to turn it into a skill, Okay, you've discovered this is what I'm passionate about. So you go to the university to say, okay, let me get education concerning this area to help me refine my gift so that it will be sellable, so to say. So that you can transact with it and make profit with it, and not only better your own life, but by becoming more of yourself, discovering yourself, you get to better the life of those around you and even the society at large. In your own little corner, you are making progress, you are making positive change, causing influence in a positive direction because you've discovered your why. So before you go into the university system, discover your why. The university is meant to refine your gifts. It is not where you get to discover your gift. It is meant to refine what you are really passionate about. So that is what my advice would be. Discover what you are gifted at. And everybody is gifted at something. Everybody is gifted at
True, not to mention
yeah.
the school system is the same for everyone, right? Because
Yes.
let's say you and I, we go to the same school, we're gonna learn the same things. But
Yes.
your talent and my talent are two different
Yeah.
things. Or
Yeah.
even if they are the
Yes.
same, talent is not
Same
equally
thing.
distributed.
Yes.
So that's very well said. You have to know yourself. You have to
Yes.
understand yourself and your limits,
Of
and
course.
then you have to. That's pretty good. I really couldn't agree more. 100%.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. So that is how to move in life. That is how to move in life. Nobody is here without a reason for existence. Everything has its purpose of being. Before somebody manufactures something, as an engineer, a mechanical engineer in training, before we design anything, before we conceptualize any idea, first thing we must ask ourselves is, what is this thing designed for? You must have a purpose for that thing. What am I designing this thing for? Why am I designing this? What problem is it meant to solve? Before you go into the designing process, into the engineering process of idea conceptualization, designing, and eventually bring out the final product.
I
That is
couldn't have
what
said that
everybody
better.
does.
If you really have this concept in your head, like why
Yes.
am I doing this and how is this
Yes,
actually
of course.
useful? That's well said,
Yes.
and I really
Yes.
applaud you for that. That mindset
Yeah.
is the reason we're going forward. With that
Yes,
said,
of course.
I really want to thank you for being here and thank you for finding the time to be a guest at the program.
Thank you.
And
Thank you
wish you
very
all the
much,
best.
Benny. Yeah, thank you very much. It's a
Bye.
great pleasure to be on this platform, and I give kudos to you for answering your core ability is what you are passionate about, and you've answered it, helping people out there. You might not know if it is only one person, at least you've helped somebody, you've contributed positively to the world. You are a positive agent, catalyzing positive energy around the world. So kudos to you. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be on this platform.
You're
I wish
very
you
welcome.
success. Luck. Yeah.
And in all
Thank
fairness,
you.
one person is all it
Yeah.
needs because it's a snowball effect.
Yes.
It gets bigger and bigger and
Of
bigger.
course.
So
Yes.
we just needed one.
Yes. Yeah. Of course.
Right on.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Great. Yeah.
Guys, I hope this one was useful. Please follow the channel on YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, Gap, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Ring the bell and all the good stuff. Have a nice week ahead, and I'll see you next Sunday.